What is a plus b squared? This is a very important rule and kind of a shortcut to understand, all right, in algebra. So, what is a plus b squared? Well, first thing to understand what it's not, a plus b squared is not a squared plus b squared. That's really tempting. Tempting to say that let's just square them both. That ends up to be not true. All right, so let's see if we can prove that to ourselves and verify what it is. Well, first of all, a plus b squared is a plus b times a plus b, because squaring means multiply something by itself. All right, now we want to get a rule here so that we don't have to write this out every time. So let's simplify this. A times a is a squared. A times b is ab. B times a is ba, or I'm going to write it as ab because it's the same thing. And b times b is b squared. Since these are both ab, we get 2ab. So we can combine those, all right, since they are like terms. And we end up with this. There is your rule that you want to memorize. We get a squared, which is the first thing squared, b squared, the last thing squared. That's what we were kind of expecting maybe on first thought. But we also have 2 times their product. AB means a times b. Okay, so what? That's great. But I have a problem that looks like, let's say we're trying to square 2x plus 3 squared. Well, a little example here. According to this rule, according to what we just found, the result will be the first thing squared, whatever 2x squared is, the last thing squared, and the middle is going to be 2 times their product. 2 times 2x times 3. Now, once you get good at this, you'll be able to skip this step pretty much. When we square the first thing, that's 4. Square 2, square the x squared. Square the 2, square the x, I should say. This is going to be 2 times 2 is 4 times 3 is 12. And 9. Done. Okay. That's it. Let's try one more. What if we have 5x plus 7 squared? Okay. We're going to square the first. 5x squared, 5x times 5x is 25x squared. Square the second thing, 49. Then multiply them. 5 times 7 is 35. And double. Multiply and double. Okay, so 5 times 7 is 35, double, 70x. There it is. So with this, we can square binomials really fast. Okay, and that's pretty handy. And it shows up nice when we're dealing with radicals also. If we have, let's say, the square root of 3 plus 2 squared. Okay, well, it's still a plus b squared. Here's our a, here's our b. So the first thing, that first term is going to be a squared, which is square root of 3 times the square root of 3. When you square the square root, you get 3. The last thing is going to be b squared. Okay, so we take 2, we square it, we get 4. And the middle is going to be 2ab. 2ab, well, multiply them. 2 times the square root of 3 is 2 square root of 3. Double that, it's 4 square root of 3. Now this one we can clean up a little bit further because 3 and 4 can combine. That is 7 plus 4 square root of 3. Done. So you can write these out, square root of 3 plus 2 times square root of 3 plus 2, and multiply it all out, but you'll end up with this. Again, you can write this out, 5x plus 7 times 5x plus 7, and you're going to end up with this. So this rule is very powerful to learn. Now, one more version, and we'll call it good. A minus b, if you multiply this out, a minus b squared. Well, if we do, if this was a minus and a minus, then this would be a minus ab and a minus ab. The only difference would be this would be a minus 2ab. Negative b times negative b is still positive b squared. So it's a minus 2ab plus b squared. Okay. So if we have, let's say, 2x minus 3. So this is our a, and this is our b, and this is squared. And we want to simplify this. Well, using this rule here, we're going to square the first. We're going to have a squared, and that's going to be 2x times 2x, which is 4x squared. Then we're going to have b squared. And I like to do kind of the ends. This is just a way that I do it. And I come back and I fill in the middle. Well, b squared is negative 3 times negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is going to be positive 9. It's going to be positive. Okay. The middle now is going to be negative because it's going to be this times this. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. Doubled is negative 12x. And there's the simplified version. Okay, that middle part, I didn't label that. That's 2ab. Okay. That's it. So, very useful, these two rules here. Very useful to learn. Memorize them, use them. They show up in all different kind of places. And when you're doing a pretty involved algebra equation, you're not going to have time. You don't want to take time to write all this out. You want to jump, once you see a binomial squared, you want to jump right to this. Binomial squared, jump right to this. Okay? You'll get lost if there's too many steps in between and you do too much side work. So, all right, hope that helps. Hope that makes life a little easier.